Okay, we're back with round 2 of Major League Rugby. Yes, it's an English guy doing another roundup of Major League Rugby, a US rugby league. But let's get into it anyway. Round 2's happened. We've had 4 fixtures this weekend, and we're going to start off straight into it. Going to get straight into it this time. Anthem in Charlotte playing San Diego. And you know what? This game ends up being 5 points to 52 to San Diego, which is not unexpected. San Diego are the founder members of the Major League Rugby, whereas Anthem only came in at the start of last season. And I think the experience showed between the two sides. However, it's not as disparage or whatever the word is. It's not as large as it may look. At half an hour in, it was still about 5-5. And a terrible last 11-12 minutes for Anthem really cost them, I think, probably all motivation in the second half. And it was about, I'm not sure exactly, but about 19 or 25-5 by the end of the half. Whereas at half an hour, it was 5-5. And I think that just, destroyed any hope for Anthem. And they shipped a lot of points in the second half. But it was closer than it looked for a while. But San Diego looking really good as expected. As I said in round 1's video, they had a disappointing season last year and they'll be hoping to do a lot better this year. They are looking sharp. They're looking very sharp. Their attack's looking very good. It's a shame Anthem couldn't make it a bit closer in the end. I think there's still lots to build on. I cut a few nice bits in attack, but they're a new team. They're building the fan base still. Big stadium they're playing in Charlotte, and they only have the side behind the camera field, which I hate that. I hate that because it's like people turn on and they might only watch the first 30 seconds, like this video. Please watch more if you haven't. But you just think it's all empty, and then actually there are people behind the camera once you get 2 or 3 minutes in, and you see the hind shots, and when tries are scored, it's just a bit annoying. But a shame for Anthem, but a good win for San Diego. 2 from 2 now. And next up, we had Chicago Hounds' first home game of the season back at the SeatGeek Stadium, playing against Utah Warriors, their first overall game of the season because they had the bye last weekend. And 45-31 to Utah Warriors, a good away win on the road, but obviously it's on the road if it's away. But I'm annoyed at this one because it was a great first 25 minutes. It was 21-21 by like 26 minutes in, fantastic action. And then the first action of the second half, or it might have been a try first. There was a try, it went 28-21 to Chicago. And then a red card, 20-minute red card for Charlie Abel, the Chicago prop. I think it's a tight head prop. And gets sent off for a high tackle. Absolutely the wrong decision. It's a high tackle. It's a yellow. No way is it a red. They say there's no mitigation, high degree of danger. High degree of danger, I disagree with that. But that's borderline. Definitely I think it's the fullback for Utah steps at the last minute and the prop gets done from a step. That is a clear change of direction, and Abel he was very annoyed at the ref at the time, and so he should be. Chicago should be very annoyed. They were winning at the time, and I think a prop's a massive position to lose in a game of rugby, so they should definitely be complaining to the MLR about that decision, in my opinion. And that cost the game. That definitely cost the game for for Chicago. Utah are a good team. They can definitely take advantage of that man overload. And it was 28-21 at the time of losing the prop. It was about 38-31 at the end of the red card period, which is obviously 20 minutes, which takes them to about 10 minutes left in the game. Not a lot of time to make up that deficit. And they lost overall 45-31. Chicago should feel very hard done by in that game. I just realised I should have been sat over here really to let the graphic hit. I put the graphic up now, and I can't be bothered to record the first 2 bits. But anyway, we're getting to the third game. Miami Sharks get another home game against, this time, NOLA Gold, obviously from New Orleans. And New Orleans going favourites into this game, a lot of people are saying. But it actually ends up, as you can see at the graphic, 30 points to 25, a home win for the Sharks after messing up last week. Obviously, they didn't kick it out after they had the ball. And there's another interesting ending at the end of this game. We'll get to that in a second, but we'll start off with NOLA Gold absolutely on fire, going, I think is it 12-0 up or 14-0 up in the first 20 minutes or so. But it gets 2 quick fire tries. Cooper Coates, the fullback, the ball bounced up nicely for him from a kick in behind, and he manages to dot down just before the ball goes dead. Lovely try there. And then they go wide for the second try, and the winger is in again for NOLA. Not again, but NOLA in again. This time it's the winger. And it goes like really 12-14-0 up straight away. So great start for NOLA. And then Miami slowly starts to come back into it at the end of the first half. Second half, Manuel Aldao, of course, the Uruguayan international who used to play at Penarol, having a fantastic impact, scoring the try to take him ahead. I'm pretty sure it was like 20-14 or something. And then he also gets a turnover for the next try where flanker, US national flanker, Benja Bonasoa goes over, and that really confirms the win for Miami. Nola Gold managed to get a try back, and it's taking it to 25-30. Then Miami have a kick in the last minute, and they actually time out. I don't know if they got the kick. It looked like they missed from the video I can see, but they actually time out, obviously giving the ball back to Nola. And it's just like, oh my God, not again. Surely not 2 weeks in a row. But after 81.5 minutes, the ball sort of spills out a ruck, and Miami do get it. And they do kick it out this time. And the fans on the side go crazy, and they're just jumping around. And that was nice to see the Miami fans get a home win. They might be rare in this competition this year because of I think they've got a really good team, Miami, but still there's a lot of more established teams in the competition. But yeah, a great home win for Miami, and Nola will definitely be feeling a bit annoyed at that one. Obviously having such a good start, probably being favourites going into the game, they'll be annoyed they've let that one slip out their hands. But yeah, a fantastic win for Miami. And the final game here, LA versus the Houston Sabercats, and it ends up 45-28. But it is a closer game than this looks. Houston pretty much unbeaten last year in the regular season, or it was nearly unbeaten, and now LA, one of the newer teams, is again putting in a fantastic performance. And at half time, LA are 28-12 up. They've already got the 4-try bonus point. They're playing fantastic stuff, throwing the ball out quite nicely. They scored some really cracking tries under the sun in LA, which I'm very jealous of in England right now. But yeah, fantastic first half performance from LA. But Houston, they just slowly start to crawl their way back in. They're only sort of 2 tries down really, and they crawl their way back in. Second half, score some nice things, start to assert their established dominance, and then at 75 minutes it is 28-31 to Houston. But in the last minute, Houston get a try, making it 38-28. But when the clock's in the red, LA are going for that, just any points, whether it be a drop goal, a penalty, or another try, to get the losing bonus point as well as the 4-try bonus point. And they chuck it wide, and it's intercepted from Houston as the clock's in the red, and they get a try there. So it goes to 45-28. Won't really make a difference to LA. It's just annoying they couldn't find that extra bonus point. But it just skews the sort of the how the game looks. It looks like it was a comfortable win for Houston. It definitely wasn't. It was hard fought. It was a 3-point game with 1 or 2 minutes to go. So yeah, LA should be kicking themselves really. They're 16 points up at half time. And that's definitely not enough to lose in a half, as we see, but it's a comfortable buffer zone which they would like to. That you'd like to think they have the quality to see out throughout the game if they manage it correctly. But yeah, a great comeback for Houston, really showing their mentality, their grit, that never say die attitude. And I think their quality really shone through in the end. So a good win from Houston, bouncing back from last week's loss. But that really sums up the results. We'll get into the Western and Eastern Conference table in a minute. But if someone could explain to me why 3 teams haven't played this week, I thought it'd be 1 each week getting a bye week. But obviously the Free Jacks, DC and Seattle all not playing this week. I don't know why 2 of them haven't played each other. So if anyone who is an MLR superfan could explain to me why 3 teams have had a bye week this week, I'd appreciate that. But let me know what your thoughts are on these 4 results, and we'll get into how the conferences now look. So this is the Western Conference, and there you go. San Diego, 2 wins from 2, top of the table on 10 points. Houston just behind that on 6 points, and also getting their first win after losing in round 1. Utah get a win now after their first game of the round of the season, so they're on 5 points. 2 points for LA, a 4-try bonus point this week. Was it a 4-try bonus point last week? I think so. It might have been a losing bonus point. And Seattle, they're down on 1 point. Obviously lost last week and then had a bye week this week, so they're down in 5th place in the Western Conference. And look at that in the Eastern Conference. It is all very tight. NOLA Gold on 6 points. Miami on 6 points. New England Free Jacks on 5 points. DC on 5. Chicago on 5. And Anthem, they're down on 0 at the bottom. But the obvious point is that DC Glory, Old Glory, and New England Free Jacks have only played one game each, so they have a game extra to make up, which could easily put them at the top of the table. Anthem, as I said, they're newer team, sort of struggling there a bit, but there's signs of hope. There's signs of hope, and we've seen MLR teams struggle before, and then in a year or two, they're already sort of competing at the top end. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting season of growth for Anthem, and yeah, Miami doing well at the top there. They should have won last week as well. They should really be on 10 points, and they've sort of messed it up themselves. So very interesting how the Eastern Conference is sort of forming and taking shape at the start of the season. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are on this table, who you expect to see at the top and at the bottom, really, and where your team is, who your team is, because I want to know who's watching. If you're an MLR fan, if you're from America, I'd love to know. But yeah, that sort of gets us to the end of the video. Thank you guys if you managed to get this far. Again, I keep saying I want to do Super Rugby content. I need to get my Super Rugby content. I mean Pacific primarily. So that will definitely start coming out soon. Let me know what else you want to know. If you want to know anything about USA or about Canadian rugby, there might be a few Canadian MLR fans. Obviously, no Toronto Arrows anymore, but let me know. And yeah, just let me know any other video ideas. Thank you for getting this far if you have, and I'll see you next one. Cheers, guys.